Looks like we're live. We tested audio. Everything's good. What's up, YouTube? So for those of you who are tuning into the 30 Minutes with a Millionaire episode, you're going to want to go ahead and fast forward maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes when everybody joins in. This is a live show that we do every single Friday. To make sure that you don't miss out on any of the value and to miss out on this at all, what you're going to want to do is make sure you're subscribed to the channel, make sure that you have notifications turned on, and make sure you set a reminder or a calendar or something like that so you don't miss out on this opportunity. This is free, so this is a time where we get to communicate with one another, and you can literally come on here and ask any question that you have. So if you're not a part of the channel yet, you want to make sure that you join. That way you can show up and get your questions answered. Looks like we're live now. The way this works, guys, is we don't have any specific curriculum or anything like that. So you want to come prepared with your questions, and you want to drop your questions down below. So it looks like everybody's joining now. Welcome back to 30 Minutes with a Millionaire, everybody. Hopefully you guys had a fantastic week. I know here we had some crazy ice, some crazy snow and stuff. So we were down a little bit for the last several days, but can't let it stop the train. That's the beautiful thing about being able to, live the laptop lifestyle is you're not dependent on specific, environments or specific time zones or specific locations, because I can only imagine the people that had to go to work and couldn't commute to work. So that's got to suck. What's going on, everybody? Looks like Teresa's in here. Inviva is in here. So what's going on, everybody? If you guys can hear and see me on YouTube and on the channel, go ahead and smash that like button. Let us know down below by saying you can hear us. Awesome. Yep. And the only dumb question is one that does not get asked. So this is totally for you guys. I do this for you guys to help you guys get to the next level, to help you guys increase your income, your impact, and your influence. So any questions you guys have, go ahead and drop them down below. And we're live on the other platforms. Are there any questions coming in? I wonder if there's a delay on.
I have a question from Joshua Cristiano. What do you think is the best way to grow a brand new service business with no capital? Door knocking, question mark?
A brand new service-based business? What type of service? What type of service-based business? So the question is, fastest way to grow a service-based business with what?
No capital.
With no capital. Well, depending on the niche, depending on the category, depending on the business, the best way to grow any business with no capital is going to be referrals. And the easiest way to get a referral is basically to do something and show that the thing works and then have them refer you, right? So for instance, let's just say that I was cleaning cars. And this is something like, if you don't have capital, usually you have one of two things. When you're starting out in business, you rather have time or you have money. Very seldomly do you have both of them, depending on where you are in your chapter. So the easiest thing to do is, if you don't have a ton of cash or capital to start your business up, you pretty much want to give your gift away for free. So let's just use the example of a car washing business. If I was starting out and I was hustling, maybe I was young and I was trying to do a car washing business, and I didn't have a ton of capital to go advertise in the newspaper and get business cards and go on the radio and so on and so forth, I would literally go to several people in my network that I know, friends, family, relatives, neighbors, anybody, and say, hey, I'm starting this car washing business. I'd like to wash your car for free. And if you like it, maybe when you want your car washed next, you'll give me a call, or maybe you can refer me to a few people who need their car washed. We do a really good job and we're really competitively priced. Now, if you over deliver, yes, you're not making money on the front end, but on the back end, the law of reciprocity will kick in. They're going to want to refer your business and possibly use your services in the future. So that's a few different ways that you can start your business. And again, guys, if you lack resources, you have to become resourceful. There's tons of people in business, not just the Amazon business, but in any business. There's tons of people in real estate, right? Because you guys know I invest in real estate. There's tons of people in real estate that make money in real estate with no money through wholesaling contracts or wholesaling properties, or through syndication where they're not using any of their own money. So it doesn't matter what the business is, as long as you have the drive, as long as you believe in the business. If you lack resources, find a way to become resourceful. So that's the best tip I can give you guys. Good question. So I follow my brand with Trademark Falcon over a year now. They're being sued for fraud. All brands associated with them have been brought down by USPTO and Amazon. So I'm not aware of Trademark Falcon or anything that's going on with that. If you filed with them and you filed with the USPTO, I would reach out. This is my personal opinion. I don't know, from a legal standpoint, but I would reach out to the USPTO independently and see what's going on. And I would personally contact a lawyer that specializes in intellectual property, like trademarks. You could probably pay them $100 for a consultation, and they can look into it and see, was it filed, was it not filed, and what are the next steps. Hopefully, which still sucks, the worst thing is you just have to refile for your trademark, which I know sucks because it could take 6 months to a year. But hopefully that works out and nothing was compromised intellectually. How often should you A/B test images on the listing using a service like PickFu? So I'm not familiar with PickFu. However, if you're talking about optimizing listings from an advertising standpoint or from an Amazon listing standpoint, I wouldn't. In the beginning, I would make sure that you identify and you choose the best image. The first image is always the most important. After things are up and running, your account is stable, your advertising is stable, then I would make tests, I would say maybe twice per year, like every other quarter. You want to be very, very careful. When you're testing something big like price or picture, those are the two biggest things that you can test when it comes to A/B testing. And I do condone, I'm not preaching against A/B testing. I A/B test everything. However, the price point and the picture are the two biggest things that can really be detrimental to your sales and to your listing, right? So whenever you're testing images or testing price, you want to be monitoring it on the hour, and you're going to be able to tell if you're getting immediate resistance or if it's working, right? So if you drop the price, whenever you're split testing price, do not go, especially once you're optimized, do not go up $1, up $2, up $5. Literally, in my personal opinion, what we've done in the past, what's worked best is under $1 increments. I will go up 50 cents or 40 cents, and I will continue to go up day on day or every couple of days until we hit that resistance. So for instance, if we're selling 30 units per day and my price is $19.97 and I want to get to 25, don't jump to 25. I would do 2047 or 2097, and then I would watch the data for 1 to 3 days, and if it's not getting resistance, then go up another 40 cents or up to $1, right under $1 at that 97 cents, and do that over the course of 2 weeks to a month. I know that it's slow and people love fast and love money fast. However, that's not realistic, and I'm telling you from experience, if you go in there and go from 1997 to 24.97, you're going to cut your sales in half, maybe even more. And you're also going to get resistance from repeat customers. So I've made that mistake in the past. What will Amazon FBA be? Will Amazon FBA be a problematic business model considering the supply chain issues we're seeing? Or are the US-based suppliers that we can deal with? Yeah, so Lisa, good question. I feel like we get this question every week. There's always going to be issues regarding the business model, not just Amazon, but the business model, which is supply and demand. When you're dealing with supply and demand, you have distribution, you have international sourcing and logistics, and you have things like tariffs and taxations and all of these things that are dictated by politics and the economy and so on and so forth. So my honest opinion is it's not going to affect, if you got to think about it, don't think about just the Amazon business. Think about supply and demand. All of these products that we're all aware with, like Apple products and all of these huge products, all are manufactured overseas. 9 out of 10 of them are manufactured overseas. They go through the same process as us. Perfect example. Recently, Amazon stated that they're going to be increasing their Prime membership fees as well as their monthly selling fees on Amazon. Why are they doing that? Because of inflation, right? The US dollar, there's inflation. The US dollar is getting weaker. They have to pay people more money. And then things are constantly changing. So what you do is basically you have to roll that into your numbers and into your metrics. And if you have to increase your prices, but the economy, there's changes in the economy or changes in the business or changes on what's going on, what's going to happen is you're not going to meet resistance with that. For instance, if you go to buy a product outside the country, let's just say you go buy a product in the United Kingdom, that same product may be more in the United Kingdom because the taxation and the tariffs and so on and so forth are more expensive. That's why things cost different prices in different countries, right? So the best thing to do, and this is what the large companies do, is they pass the bill on to the client. So whenever there's any type of price increase or anything like that, just factor it into your stuff. Like if you look at Apple products, they're constantly going up. If you look at a lot of large products, they're constantly going up. Now, in terms of like, that's the money issue. In terms of like borders or like things being slow or things being, in reference to time sensitiveness, in terms of things being time sensitive, that's going to happen as well. It's just a part of the business. Just like in real estate, there's people that made a ton of money and then 2008 happened and they had to reposition their strategy, their business strategy, properties they were acquiring, lenders that they were dealing with. So any person that anybody or any person or any business that tells you that there's not punches that you have to roll with in business is lying to you. So a majority of the times things are great. However, there are going to be those things that you have to navigate around. You have to pivot around. And the thing is, the large companies are doing it. So if they're doing it, we pretty much just follow what they're doing. So really good question. How long does it take to see your ROI with Amazon FBA? So it depends. It really depends on the time of the year you start, the product you start, so on and so forth, right? There's a lot of variables in reference to time and money with the business, right? Just like any business. So I will tell you this, like once your product is live on Amazon, after it's live on Amazon, every 2 weeks you get paid directly via ACH to your account. So there's tons of variables like advertising performance, or ACOS, which is average cost of sale percentage, which can eat into margins. You also have the amount of sales that you're getting off of projections and factual sales. So you have all these things that go into effect. But let's just say hypothetically, you did your due diligence, you know what you're doing, you launched a product that you projected is going to sell 10 units per day, 300 units per month, right? If you're making $10 profit hypothetically off of this product, that's $3,000 profit per month. Now, if you invested $5,000 in this product, right, and that includes your shipping, these are just round numbers, and you're making $3,000 per month, you're at a 1.5 month return on investment for your initial shipment, right, or your initial order. So follow that order of math for identifying like cash on cash. I know in real estate, because I've been doing a lot of underwriting for very large deals myself and learning more about underwriting and stuff like that. You can play with the numbers to determine like how fast or how long you get your cash on cash investment back. Now, of course, everybody's goal, like I previously mentioned, is how do I make as much money as humanly possible and how do I make it as fast as humanly possible? When you're thinking that way, think with a grain of salt, right? Because no one wants to get rich quick, right? No one's looking for the get rich quick opportunity because they know it's BS. However, they start an opportunity that's realistic and then they want to get rich quick. So learn the math, learn how to do the math, and then do the projections. And understand this, like all products on Amazon sell, they may just sell enough. So when you think about it like that, okay, if that one product doesn't make sense or it doesn't work out, then we need to liquidate it at minimal loss or break even or slight profit and get to the next product. And as long as you have that mentality and you don't give up, then it's inevitable that you're not going to make money, right? That's just the way the business works. So some people do it on their first go round. Some people it takes 2 or 3. Like me, it took 3. My first 3 products failed. My 4th one was a winner. So just think about that. Really know the numbers. Be specific with the numbers. Make sure you're keeping track of everything and make small adjustments to increase your margins so you can increase your ROI. Is Amazon FBA becoming oversaturated and hard to sell products? Tony, good question. Man, it seems like now I remember, like I haven't done live stuff in a long time. And I remember like the reason why I stopped is because the questions were so redundant. And I'm not saying anything bad because it's good to ask these questions because the only dumb question is one that does not get asked. But I literally have videos that on all of these titles on the actual channel. And I broke down on the last, I highly suggest that you go watch the last 30 Minutes with a Millionaire because I broke this down in an illustration. Basically, from an Eagles point of view, it's impossible for Amazon to become saturated. And the thing is, it's funny, like everybody always talks about the Amazon business. Amazon itself is not an Amazon business. Amazon itself is a logistics and e-commerce based business, right? And all we're doing is tapping into one of the oldest business models that exists, which is supply and demand. I want to drink tea. I need something to put my tea in, right? This is a problem. This was sourced on Amazon. I like to drink tea. I need something to keep my tea warm, and I need somewhere to put my tea. I'm going to go solve that problem through e-commerce because I don't want to go to the store. Amazon's going to ship this to me, so they're going to handle the e-commerce and the logistics. Now, the seller, they identified a problem. They created a product. They found ways to improve the product. How did this seller improve the product? They have the most quantity and the nicest quality at the best price, right? So I'm just giving you a general idea of how everything works. But the reason why it's impossible is because the rate at which Prime members and consumers on Amazon are joining Amazon's platform and the rate of which sellers are starting and actually sticking to selling is exponentially different. So I broke this down. There's literally approximately, and Forbes put out an article, a little over 2 million sellers, right? If there's 2 million sellers and there's millions and millions and millions of Prime members, what was the exact amount? Do you remember? I just did the presentation. 148.6 million. Yeah, so it was 148.6 million. Was that in the US or worldwide? I can't remember if it was worldwide or US. Let's just say worldwide, right? I might be off by a few million, but you'll get the point. There's almost 150 million Prime members as of last year, and there's only 2 million sellers. So it's like a 75-to-1, right? 75-to-1 ratio. There's significantly more people shopping on Amazon than people who are selling on Amazon. So saturation happens when there is more supply than there is demand. Basically, there's more people selling this cup than there are people buying the cup, which is not true. Think about it like this. Why are supermarkets not saturated? How many supermarkets are in your city? And then you have Walmart and you have maybe H-E-B, depending on where you live. And you have all these different supermarkets. Why are they not saturated? Like, why is cereal not saturated? If you walk into a cereal aisle, you're going to see 40, 50 different cereals. So you got to think about it. Usually there's more consumers than there are actually producers. If you look at those cereals, a majority of them are owned by the same company, right? So think about it like that. It is not saturated. I don't think that it will be saturated. I don't think in the next 10 years it'll be saturated, just at the rate of which online shoppers and online shopping is growing versus the people that are waking up and getting into the entrepreneur game. Think about it. Like, real estate's not saturated. How long has it been around? Over 100+ years. And there are still more properties, more deals, more businesses, more opportunity than there are people buying them. And it's the oldest business, right? Real estate's made more millionaires than any other business, yet people every single day in every single state, every single country in the world are buying real estate, flipping deals, wholesaling contracts, developing land, developing products, projects, so on and so forth. So good question. Do I have to have the seller account to link Junglescout to Amazon? You can link Junglescout to Amazon. However, you don't need to have a seller account, or you can create a seller account for free, which is an individual account. So Junglescout has two components. It has the Chrome extension and the web app. So you can utilize both of those without having a seller account. However, I recommend creating a seller account for free, even if you haven't chose a product. By going to Seller Central and signing up under an individual. Make sure you click individual because it's not going to charge you any money. By the way, if any of you guys want to find your first or your next product and you haven't gotten access to Junglescout, those guys have been kind enough to give our viewers a discount up to 30% off. All you got to do is go to discountonjunglescout.com and you can check that out. When starting to sell a new product, when I do PPC, should I do auto campaign to start or a manual campaign? Good question, Abe. So I recommend that you do both. So here's the difference. So auto campaigns, here's a quick overview of this because I literally have hours of this in my course in the AMZ Formula. Auto, the main purpose of auto is to find keywords, to find phrases, to find search terms for you. You do not want to depend just on auto. And you do not want to just start with auto. Now, these are my personal opinions. Like, there's tons of people on YouTube that are going to have conflicting models and methods and strategies. But auto campaigns are Amazon's algorithm and their API cycling through different parameters to find different search terms to sell your product, right? When you're running auto campaigns, that auto campaign, that API, that algorithm was created with the sole intention of spending as much money as humanly possible so that Amazon can make as much money as humanly possible. When you run manual campaigns, you are specifically telling Amazon's A10 algorithm what you want your products to show up in search results for. So what we do when we're starting from scratch is we start an auto campaign to scrape new keywords and search phrases and search terms while we're running manual campaigns. Auto campaigns are always lower than manual campaigns. And even if auto campaigns are not profitable, I recommend running them at small budgets to scrape new keywords. You can optimize. The biggest problem people don't do is they don't optimize campaigns at all. The second biggest problem is they don't optimize auto campaigns. You can optimize auto campaigns just like you can manual campaigns. So what you want to do is scrape auto campaigns, find keywords that are getting high search volume that are relevant or even resulting in sales, and move them over to manual. When you're starting with your manual, and I know this stuff sounds like super complex, it's so freaking easy, like compared to buying media on Facebook or Google or TikTok or any of these other platforms. When you're starting manual campaigns, you're going to go to the Google Keyword Planner, and you're also going to use the keyword tool within Junglescout, and you're literally going to type in your competition, your competitor's ASINs, which is the Amazon Serial Identification Number, which is their actual identifier, their UPC, right? You're going to type that in, and it's going to show you all the keywords that your competitors have. Start with those. They have it for a reason, especially if you're looking at people that are crushing it and you have data that they're crushing it. Pull their keywords, put those into manual campaigns. In addition to those, go in Google Keyword Planner, also go in the keyword tools in Junglescout, and type in your product and start to pull the ones that have the highest impressions, highest potential. Now, there's two different types of groups, right? And this is like the last that I'm going to go into this. Again, this is a huge rabbit hole that we can go into, and that's why it's really important that if you're serious about this, like it's a huge advantage to join a program. Like for instance, like the AMZ Formula, we have hours of me teaching this where you're looking over my shoulder in my computer. But if you're in AMZ Max or you're in my inner circle, you actually have a call with our PPC coach where you can ask them specific questions. He can go in and show you this stuff. This isn't a sales pitch. This is just, if you're serious, you're going to get results faster. You're going to spend less time and spend less money. Trust me, because a lot of people don't have marketing backgrounds. A lot of people don't understand this. I kind of got lucky when I started, and a lot of people don't talk about this. Like you see these Amazon influencers and they're like, look at my $100 million in sales. Dude, you were a stockbroker in New York before you started. Or look at my huge warehouse. Dude, you and your partner had a stupid amount of capital and good credit to start with. Like the reason why I got lucky is because I was dead broke, had no money. My mentor had product I could start with for free after I lost all my money trying to figure this out. But I had a background in SEO, so I understood keywords and I understood like ranking in the algorithm. I understood all this because I learned this from him. So I got lucky, and I still lost a stupid amount of money, right? So the reason why I'm saying that is you want to make sure that you know what you're doing. But there's two main objectives with the manual campaigns. And this is not talked about too much. Your main keywords that are going to get you a stupid amount of impressions are not always going to be the most profitable. For instance, like coffee cup, right? I'm just using coffee cup or disposable coffee cup is probably going to get you the most search impressions, the most clicks for this product. You may make the least amount of money on this keyword, or you may even break even or lose a little bit of money. Why would you keep advertising this? Because the way the algorithm works and the way ranking placement on Amazon works, it's very, very simple. If competitor A is selling 100 units per day, you need to sell more than competitor A to take his spot. And you keep climbing up the ladder. Sell 100, sell 105, sell 110, sell 115. And you keep moving up the ranks until you're selling the most amount of product. And whoever sells the most amount of product is number one. Whoever's number one makes the most amount of money. It is very, very simple. So when you understand that, you want to run these keywords that may not be as profitable to maintain ranking and increase ranking while focusing on what's called low-hanging fruit. What is low-hanging fruit? Disposable, white, small, hot beverage cup. That is what you call a long tail keyword. Those are low-hanging fruit because a smaller majority of people, we went from 70 viewers to 5 viewers. Is that showing that on there or no? All right, that was crazy. Anyway, if you guys can still hear me and see me, smash that like button. That was crazy. Anyway, a least amount of people are going to be typing in that long tail search term. However, it's going to cost you significantly less to acquire that customer, which means your profit margins are going to be higher. Also, the whole goal of running PPC is to rank. Remember, I just explained how rank works for these keywords. So when people go to Amazon and they type in coffee cup or disposable coffee cup, they're not going to click on the sponsored ads and they're going to buy your thing. I just had this conversation with someone the other day and I said, hey, when you go to Amazon, and I'm just shattering false beliefs. When you go to Amazon, do you look at the name brand of the product? Are you only buying name brands that you know? The answer is no. Like none of you guys have done this in the last 30 days when you shopped on Amazon, right? Or if you have, it's been a least amount of the time. Number two, have you bought a sponsored product? When's the last time you went to Amazon to buy something, you wanted something, and you clicked it, oh, this is a sponsor, this is an ad. You know those first four listings that say sponsored are ads, and you're not clicking on them, right? So think about these things like, dude, my PPC campaign is not profitable. How long have you been optimizing it for? Whoa, I launched it last week. Dude, success, like it will take time. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So, and that's why we say there's only two ways that you can fail in this business is not starting or giving up. Trust me, everybody starts. Like we've helped, like 10,000 people have went through the AMZ formula. Literally hundreds of thousands of people have went through my trainings. Everybody starts. Everybody gets warm and fuzzy inside after attending one of these or getting their questions answered. And then they start. And then the minute they lose money, the minute they're stuck, the minute they're confused, the minute their family tells them they're stupid, the minute their significant other doesn't agree with them, they quit. And that's why that the 1% are successful. The 1% has what the 99% does not. And this is not just Amazon. This is any business, guys. The reason why the 1% has what the 99% does not is because the 1% is willing to do what the 99% will not. I don't care who you listen to or what you learn or what degree you have. You can be the smartest person on planet Earth, but if you are addicted to education and allergic to execution, you will not make it amongst that 1%. I often tell people here on the channel all the time, dude, I am not the smartest person in this space. I don't have a crazy GPA, but I understand that if I start something and I believe in it, I'm going to stick with it to the end. And I don't care what the results are right now because today does not dictate tomorrow. So that's a real easy way to think. And it's not comfortable. It's not, because it's hard to think like that when you're losing money. It's hard to think like that when you're putting all of your savings into something and you don't thoroughly understand it. Guess what? That's called being uncomfortable. The problem is too many people are comfortable, and that's why they stay where they are. And the crazy thing is, like, if you're comfortable, you're actually digressing in life. The dollar is depreciating every single day. The dollar is suffering to inflation every single day, and you're getting older, which means your life is getting shorter. So if you're comfortable with where you are and you're not doing anything to improve the quality of your life or the loved ones around you, you're not just being comfortable and being complacent, you're digressing. Like there's only two ways. You have digressing and you have progressing, right? So constantly, every single day and every single way, strive to get better. Hey, last week you talked about a mastermind you had with the Prophet. Are you going to post it? Oh, you guys are paying attention. I may write it down. We may do something with that. I got the audio. Are you hardwired as well? Make sure you're hardwired. All right, cool. Yeah, write that down. I do have the voice memo, and there's a 3-minute question about happiness related to business and managing multiple businesses. Is it possible for a product to be hijacked by someone else during microlaunch? Also, really quick, E, can you put the slider down below that has the link or the website to schedule a call? A ton of people looks like they're serious and want to get started. By the way, we're going to leave this up. Can you add that to a slider so it slides while the question's up? Just go to create a banner down below. All right, cool. What was that question? Is it possible by someone else during a microlaunch? Okay, cool. So the way hijacking works, and for those of you that don't know hijacking, if you have a listing up live on Amazon and somebody lists underneath your listing and undercuts your price and steals your sales, that's what a hijacker is. It's ridiculous, right? A listing pirate, hijackers, like there's tons of different terminology for it. The fact of the matter and the truth is that anybody can hijack your listing if you are not brand registered and have a trademark. That's why I preach so much about trademarks. And the reason why Amazon allows that, because I've had the painful conversation with Amazon because it happened to me. And the reason why it happens is because if you're not trademarked, technically you're not a real brand, and there's no differentiation like between you and a brand that allows people to sell underneath them. So for instance, you can get a wholesale account with Colgate and sell Colgate. If you go to Colgate toothpaste or you go to any large like Aquafina water, you're going to see dozens of people selling that same product. This is the manufacturer, or this is the main brand owner, and then they have distributors which create wholesale accounts. So the way wholesale works, like if you see all the Amazon guys talking about the hustle Gary V with all the employees and they're at their office all day long, that's wholesale. I've been in that business. It's not my forte, right? I'm the more of a beach in Bali, do nothing, make a bunch of money type of guy. The way this works is you buy a product, right? You get a product from a manufacturer or a distributor below MAP, which is a manufactured, a minimum advertised pricing structure. MSRP is manufacturer suggested retail pricing. You buy them below that because you buy in bulk at wholesale. You sell at retail, you keep the spread. So the reason why Amazon allows you, if you're a private label brand or you're building a company or you have a physical product, to do that is because there's no way that they can prove that you're not allowing distributors, right? Basically, hijackers to Amazon look like distributors. Now, the part that sucks is they can be selling product that's not the same quality and product that literally is not even your product. And the bad reviews, the complaints, all of that is stuck with the account owner. So that's why it is detrimental to get you, like it's literally one of the most important things right now is getting your trademark as fast as possible. And that's why I recommend getting a trademark. Like, well, I want to make sure this thing works before I get the trademark. Dude, you already have the mindset that if it doesn't work, you're going to quit. You failed before you started. Like if you have the resources, get the LLC, separate the bank account, invest in the trademark. It's going to take 6 months to a year, $600 to $1,000. Invest of all of that, and don't give yourself an escape route, right? It has to work or it has to work. If you want to take the island, as Tony Robbins says, burn the boat. The problem is so many people, they're starting this business and they've got one hand on the escape route. They've got one hand on the handle, which is the door to their exit, right? And then what happens is they get started. They're like, dude, this thing's making money. And then a hijacker comes on. And the hijacker's on stealing all of their sales, ruining their account health, ruining the review ratio. And they're like, dude, I should have got a trademark. If you would have been thinking the right way, like how you do anything is how you do everything. When you start this business, start with the intention that you're going to make whatever your goal is. Like if it's $3,000 to $10,000 a month, I'm going to get there. It's not about how, it's about when. I'm going to get there. That's the mentality that you need, because I'm going to start this and I'm going to roll the dice and I hope it works. And then stuff gets a little rocky and you're like, I felt kind of funny about this and my family didn't like it anyway. I'm just going to get rid of this and jump to the next shiny object. That's what's going to happen. Like if you start with that mindset and that mentality, chances are the outcome that you perceived is the outcome that you're going to receive. So any intention that you perceive is what you're going to receive, because like your obsessions become your possessions, and what you think about, you bring about. So if you're already premeditatively thinking about doubt, failure, anxiety, stress, negativity, and any type of negative outcome, the negative outcome is going to come to fruition, right? That's just the way the universe works. It doesn't matter what you believe in. Like from a religious standpoint, this proves; from an economical standpoint, it proves; from a science and psychological standpoint, it doesn't matter how you think. Usually that's what happens. And it's been clinically tested. What's the chances of suspensions and terminations? So when you follow the AMZ formula and like what I teach, I have never, dude, we have thousands and thousands and thousands of clients. And literally we've had 3 people deal with this, and all 3 people launched products that I told them not to, and that in my program I advised not to. And they took that risk because the profits looked crazy, and the profits look crazy because nobody can sell it. And if you slide through the cracks, you're going to make a stupid amount of money, right? 2 of them were tobacco and like marijuana use products. And I'll tell you guys, and the third one was a sex toy, an adult toy, right? I told them not to do it. The course says not to do it. This is why they were blinded by the profits. They got in there and made stupid amounts of money, and then they got their stuff shut down. So if you hear about this stuff, like here's 2 examples for the most amount of times that why people deal with this, right? Suspensions, terminations, all of this. Number one, they're going with the service where like you're drop shipping, right? Or you're doing like this reverse wholesale drop shipping method. Amazon does not want that. They don't want miney like arbitragers on their platform. They want large distributors and wholesalers who have 7- and 8-figure accounts and they want private label brands. That is what they want. They don't want the guy who's in high school flipping stuff on the side. They don't want that. It's one of the largest companies in the world, right? They don't want to be an eBay. Like they're Amazon for a reason. They're a $1 trillion company. So a lot of these guys that have these programs similar to AMZ Together, where they're doing the drop shipping or the reverse wholesale, you're gonna hear a lot of terminology when you're talking to those guys about account suspensions. With AMZ Together, where we build the business for you, we find the product, we build everything out for you, we help you launch it, our team manages everything. The reason why we don't even talk about that is because we're binding you and building you a real business around a real product. And it's not as sexy because it takes longer. However, you don't have to deal with all of these hidden things that suck that a lot of these people don't disclose, like your account getting shut down and your IP being banned on Amazon and all this stuff. Number 2 is inadequate education when starting the business. Amazon does not expect, Amazon's not going to say, well, Josh, I understand you're trying to quit your job and life has been tough and you weren't familiar with our TOS, which terms of service, which you can Google. That's all right. We'll give you a second chance. Just please review the terms of service. If you launch a product and you break the Amazon terms of service, they're going to kick you. Like, you're done for. Just with Facebook. You know how many accounts, if you talk to any entrepreneurs, you've probably heard them talk about accounts being banned. Facebook will ban your account. You run an ad that you're not supposed to, you make a mistake, you have any type of issue, they do not care. They're not going to say, well, hey, Josh, you use the word money and you're not supposed to use the word money. Or, hey, Josh, this video violated the terms of service. They're going to shut your ad account because they expect you to understand this. So inadequate understanding of the business and inadequate education is another reason why you could get banned. And that's why, again, this is not a sales pitch. Like, if you are serious and hey, I believe in this business, I want to start this business, do it the right way by doing it with someone or a company, even if it's not me, who knows what they're doing, who's been in the industry for a long time and has a proven track record, because you're going to make a mistake. And if you make a mistake, you could lose your account, you could lose your selling privileges, and it could just be, it could be a disaster, right? Again, if you guys aren't familiar with the TOS, Google Amazon's terms of services and make sure you review them. And if you're a current seller right now, you better make sure that you're reading all those Amazon emails. Chances are you guys are not reading those emails. I've made the mistake before. Amazon hammers you. I'm not reading those emails. Read those emails, because they're not going to text message you or call you like, hey, Josh, I sent you that terms of service update, which, by the way, you're violating. Make sure you read your email and make sure you make these adjustments. They're just going to flag your account. So make sure you're on top of Amazon's terms of services, regardless if you're starting out or you're a current seller. They make updates all the time. They're not going to notify you. They're not going to knock on your door to remind you. Are there Amazon sellers that prey on new Amazon sellers by watching for the microlaunch? Yeah, I mean, are there lions that look for gazelles that are limping, right? Of course. That's why you need to make sure that everything you do to the best of your ability, because anything less than excellence is a compromise. So if you start and you launch this product and you do so inadequately, a giant like me is going to see you've done all the hard work for me. Like, if you launch a product and you run out of inventory and you're crushing it, I'm seeing your sales. If you come into any of my categories and you launch a product and you don't know how to do PPC and you're not ranking for anything, and I see you come onto my radar, or you launch a product and you sell out immediately because you had inadequate amount of supply, I'm going to go steal your food, right? Like, you're a gazelle that's bleeding out and I'm a big hungry lion and I'm going to jump on you and eat you. So that's how it is in any market, right? Any market is like that. So, and I'm not saying this to scare you, but be very methodical and strategical when you're getting into this business, because you are playing with big companies and you are playing with big investors and experienced people. Not everybody's new to the business. So make sure you do your due diligence. Like, this whole business is around data. And I wish I could just have a banner on across social media that says this, all of your mistakes, all of your losses in this business will be to you rushing. No good things come from rushing. No good things come from rushing. You maybe want to write that down, right? And I still make this mistake all the time. No good things come from rushing. Why do people go out of business? Because they rushed the launch process. Why did PPC not profitable? They rushed the launch process. Why does you're not getting sales? Because your product sucks, because you rushed the product development process. Why did you run out of inventory? Because you didn't do inventory forecasting adequately and you ran out of inventory. Because you rushed and you want to get live. Why did you pick the wrong product? You didn't do enough due diligence and you rushed and you settled for a product because it was taking too long. And I can give you countless horror stories about people that lost their money or went out of business. And 9 times out of 10, guys, I'm telling you, on the backside of that story is they rushed. So no good things come from rushing. Like guaranteed success or guaranteed completion is better than like a quick assumption, right? And this is a marathon, not a sprint. You cannot, like, if I try to run as fast as humanly possible in a marathon when I'm starting out, I'm going to beat the marathon joggers probably for the first quarter mile, maybe for the first 1 to 2 miles. At mile 5 and mile 6, when I'm collapsed on the side of the road, they're going to run right past me, right? And if you look at the children's story, the tortoise and the hare, that's what that talks about, right? So this is a marathon, not a sprint. I understand, like, you guys are excited. You want to make money as fast as humanly possible. Everybody does. That is normal to feel that way. However, I'm telling you, this has happened to me with Amazon. This has happened to me with real estate. This has happened to me with pretty much anything in my life. Whenever I rushed because I wanted the result, there was a mistake, right? Like, for instance, today, for example, I was doing so many things and I was rushing to get them done. And I was prioritizing those things that I forgot to take medicine, right? Like, why did I forget to take medicine? I know I need to take medicine. That's super important because I was rushing to do all these other things and I had to finish them. I had to get them done. So make sure you're very methodical and like move slow, but move highly calculated. How many products should you micro launch? What do you recommend? That's a personal question depending on your budget, your experience, your industry, the age of the company. There's tons of variables that can change that question. However, just do your due diligence. Like, if the reason why you want to micro launch multiple products is because you want to find one that's going to win faster, spend that extra time, effort, energy, resources on finding a good product and going all in on that one product. Now, if you're already an established brand, you've been up and rolling, you've already got a catalog of 2 or 3 products, and you find 2 products, then you may have the capital, you may have the brand awareness, and you may have the actual extra resources in order to launch that product. Me even being experienced with the resources and the money and so on and so forth, I only launch 1 product per brand at a time, at a given time. Now, this doesn't, the only exception is if this had variations. So technically, if I launch this in 3 different colors, it's 3 different products. However, they all go underneath 1 classification or 1 parent listing. So the only exception is if they are child ASINs going under a parent ASIN or a parent listing. Awesome. Great questions today, guys. Also, by the way, we've got a ton of people still in here. If you guys can do me a huge favor, if you guys are new to the channel or you've been here on the channel before and you guys have not subbed, make sure that you hit that red subscribe button right now. Next to it, you're going to see a bell icon. Click that bell because that's going to notify you every single week, Mondays and Wednesdays when we drop new videos, and Fridays when we go live to answer all of you guys' questions. Also, if you get any gems whatsoever, any motivation, anything, smash that like button on that video. That would mean the world to me. Next question, LLC versus trademark. One is an entity and the other one is securing your intellectual property. Intellectual property is like you owning the intellectual rights to something. So like if you look at a brand, okay, if I trademark AMZ Formula, that means no one else can use this. If I copyright the slogan, you're only 1 product away, that means no one else can use this. This is intellectual property that, number 1, protects your intellectual property, and number 2, increases the evaluation of your company, right? And when it comes to selling on Amazon, you need this stuff so that people can't hijack your listing and steal your stuff. Because if you're doing something wrong, or like if you're a small fish and you go and launch something and you're crushing it, you don't have a trademark, someone could just steal your brand. Like crappy people out there exist. Like if you go on there and you have an awesome logo, an awesome name, and a killer product and you're crushing it, what can happen is a huge company can say, hey, go run a trademark search. See if their trademark is pending. If your trademark's not pending, they can go take your freaking name and file that trademark that you've been using and then get you kicked off of your own listing and steal all of your business. So this stuff exists, guys. It exists. That's why there's titles. So you know who owns a car. Like it's just a different thing. And it's something that you need to know and something that you need to do. So trademarks is to protect your intellectual property, and an LLC, limited liability company, is a structure, entity, structure classification. There's different types like sole proprietors and DBAs and LLCs and C corps and S corps and corporations. And we're not going to get into all that. And I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a CPA, but you want to identify where you live, what's your business structure, do you have partners, like what are your goals, do you want to sell, do you have equity partners? Like I find the answer to all of these things, and then just do some due diligence online. Contact someone at like Rocket Lawyer or someone at one of these other websites, or you could just call a lawyer and give them $100, $200 for an hour consultation, and they will find out which one is best for you. But LLC is the biggest, I can tell you that. Hello, can I use my LLC company name as my brand name as private label? Yep, absolutely. How do you maintain the buy box when sellers undercut? What is your strategy? So I don't deal with the buy box because all of my products, all of my brands are trademarked, so someone can't sell underneath my listings. The way the buy box works is not just always price. Now they've changed it. Back in the day, it used to be cutthroat. Like when I started, it was price driven, and you had Chinese sellers drop shipping on your listing, murdering your price, like to the point where you would be losing like several dollars per product to even match. Now they've changed, right? It goes off of multiple variables. Nobody knows all the variables, but some of them are reviews, account health. Some of them are the age of the account, the age and who has been selling that actual ASIN the longest. Of course, price. The biggest one is FBA versus FBM. You can't drop ship and you can't ship by merchant and get the buy box over an FBA, which is fulfilled by Amazon, meaning you actually have stock. There's tons of those variables. So number one, rule of thumb, when you're starting, start the right way. Go all in, get your trademark. If you're waiting on your trademark, you can go ahead and send Amazon that that trademark is pending. They're not going to take them down because of pending. It has to actually show and appeared registered. However, that's a good way to build a case and say, hey, listen, if you look at the time sold, I sold this first. I've been on here longer. I have the trademark pending, so on and so forth. Start to build that case because it is going to help you. If they have, and we talk about this in like 4 or 5 different ways and strategies, and I actually had my lawyer get some documentation that we added inside the AMZ formula for clients. But I will tell you this, like one thing that you can do to be reactive in that situation, if there is a hijacker on your listing, is you can give them a cease and desist letter. Now, everybody inside the AMZ formula and above, AMZ Max, Inner Circle, AMZ Together, you guys all get the template from my lawyer. However, you can go pay for one, or if you have a lawyer, you can have your lawyer draft one up, or you may be able to find a template online that you can use. But that's one level of defense. UAE market, so no helium-10, do manual product research with 999 method and looking at sellers manually. Subcategory now, am on product validation phase. How can I validate research for UAE market? Yeah, pop it back up. 999 methods. So you have 2 levels, man. You have validation, you have verification. So if you did the validation through the 999 method and utilizing the actual software and the data that's available, the second stage is going to be your verification. So you're going to launch it. There's only so much data that you can go off of without launching the product to come up with a data-driven decision as to, is this a good product to launch? The second half, which is verification, is going to be you actually launching the product. That's why I teach about the microlaunch. Yo, shout out to Sauce too. He's in the AMZ formula. So he's a client. Let's make sure we get his question as well after this one. Can I reach a good product without using Junglescout? Yeah, like, so first and foremost, guys, this isn't a biased opinion about Junglescout. I've used them for a very long time. They're the first like originator in the software space. They, I believe, have the most accurate and biggest pool of data. That's why I recommend them. Of course, discount on junglescout.com is an affiliate link. I do get paid. However, you save money versus just going to Junglescout. Full disclosure. Do you need a software to find a product? No, not at all. Back in the day when I got started, there was no software, and many people got started, there was no software. In fact, Junglescout got created because Greg Mercer, the founder and CEO's father, was one of the top 100 Amazon sellers and has made millions upon millions of dollars in the business. And he created the software internally because it is a very complex, time-draining, time-strenuous process to find, validate, and verify products. Originally, like, you didn't have much data sources to go off of. So yes, you can find one without it. Would I recommend it? No, that sounds biased. It's not. It's just significantly easier to do it, because you got to understand, you're talking about billions of products on Amazon's catalog. Like, there's no way in heck you're going through all these products. When you go into one of these softwares, you can change these filters, adjust these filters, and spit out highly targeted products that meet your search criteria, which saves you a ton of time, in my personal opinion. So yes, but I don't recommend it. And again, for those of you guys who are looking to find your first or your next product, again, those guys have been awesome enough to give us a discount code. All you guys got to do is go to discountonjunglescout.com so you guys can get access to Junglescout and their suite of tools. My man, Sauce Store, what's going on, big dog? How to hook a product up to a funnel. So, actually, dude, I know you're in the AMZ Formula Max. I can't remember which one. Email support at the amzformula.com and say, I need a funnel. I need a funnel to promote my product, right? And I'll have my team share with you one of my share funnels in ClickFunnels so that you can just go and plug in everything. What it's going to be generic. There's going to be lorem ipsum. So what you're going to need to do is then go on Fiverr or Upwork and just pay someone like $100 to $300 to go design the funnel and then write the copy, right? So I'll plug you with that, which will save you a ton of time and a ton of money. So you don't have to develop you a funnel. That's kind of the framework. So email support and I'll give that to you. That's going to be in the update. So I haven't rolled up that update, which is creating a funnel, building a funnel, why to use a funnel, how to use a funnel, and then I have a shared funnel. So if you email support, support will be like, yo, what is this guy talking about? And I'll remember. And I hope everything is going well. Also, guys, any of you guys are males on here or have like a boyfriend or a father or a brother or husband or anything like that as a beard, they have an amazing beard kit. This is one of our clients. Check his stuff out. It's on Amazon. Definitely support it. I use it. It's an amazing product. And I think you can just type in the Sauce Store on, or Sauce beard or Sauce something like that, and it should pop up with that logo on Amazon. Cool. Let's keep rolling, man. I ran into a problem about getting cleared to sell a product. How do we get cleared to sell a product? So, Aaron, Amazon should have given you specific reasons why they did not clear it. And whatever they gave you, you need to get that from the supplier. So it may be a COA, which is Certificate of Analysis. It may be a USDA approval. It may be, there's tons of different things it could be depending on the actual product and the category that the product is in. So identify what it is that they need and then get that from the supplier. 9 times out of 10, if you can sell the product on Amazon, you can get whatever it is from the supplier and then they'll clear you. Maybe it can be that, or maybe you don't have approval to sell in that category. Now, approval to sell in that category will be a different requirement than approval to sell the product within the category. So if you're a brand new seller, they may not let you get into topicals, for instance. You may have to pay a fee to fill out an application and then submit your COA, which is Certificate of Analysis, and the FDA approval stating that the stuff was made in an FDA-approved laboratory. I know this because I've been in the beauty industry for nearly a decade, right? So I'm just giving you that example. However, depending on the product, the category, the niche, and if you're a new seller or not, they require different things. So just identify what it is and then just knock it out. So if you need access to that category, sometimes you can just request to get in there and they'll approve it. Sometimes they'll ask you for some stuff, get them the stuff. And if you're already approved to sell in that category and you need approval to sell the product, they're going to request specific form or sheet or documentation or pictures or something. You can get that from your supplier, even if you haven't bought from them yet. Say, hey, I want to do this. I want to order from you, but I need to be sure that and certain that I'm approved to sell this product before we do so. Last resort is you may have to order a sample from them, but I would order the sample from them, get cleared, get approved, be verified before you start manufacturing. Good question. Man, there's so many of them. Honestly, we hit on this, Josh, a minute ago about And here's the thing, guys, when I talk about stuff, this is not from a sales standpoint, because I truly don't care if you invest in my stuff. I do this for free. It's a passion project. If you do invest in our stuff, we would love to help you go further and faster. However, the stuff I teach because I've spent a lot of money learning it, or I've spent a lot of like headache learning it, right? Or a lot of time learning it. So like my biggest mistake with the business and the biggest lesson I learned is you have to be patient. I still, being an 8-figure entrepreneur, rush stuff because I want to get stuff done now and I want to make money tomorrow. So when I talk about this stuff, I don't put myself up here like Gandhi floating in the sky, like meditating. I make this mistake all the time. Like I recently launched a business without doing my due diligence, and like the company was already trademarked. I had to rebrand the entire company. That was a new mistake and I knew better. However, I rushed because I wanted the outcome. So I'm not perfect. But the biggest thing is to be patient. Like the world is moving very fast. This business moves very fast. And there's people launching in the category, in the industry every single day. So the thing you need to focus on is doing things right and doing things once. In the construction and the carpentry industry, there's a saying, measure twice, cut once. Think about that analogy, or think about that theory with your business. Like literally, you want to cross every T, you want to dot every I, and you want to have a good emotional feeling about it, about the thing, about the product, about the business, about the strategy before moving forward, right? Don't just focus on the money or the outcome. Which do you prefer, FBA or merchant fulfilled, and why? FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, because 9 times out of 10 it's cheaper. When it's FBA, Amazon also prioritizes listing and ranking for your products. And number 3, with FBM, you have to package the products, have packaging supplies, print labels. UPS has got to come to your house, all this other stuff. FBA, you do nothing. Everything's done from your computer during your spare time from anywhere in the world. Can you have 2 successful products selling at the same time? Absolutely. You can have endless amount. There's no limit on how many products you can have that are successful. Do we have to put LLC when we put our brand name on the product or title? No, you don't. I mean, so if it's like Josh's, like if the name of the LLC is Josh's brand, and then the name of the product is Josh's brand, but it's an LLC, you don't have to put LLC. Can you use PPC on sexual products? So I would highly advise that you guys, if you question if you can launch a product, chances are you can't launch the product. And then another thing is, if you go to Amazon's terms of service, it talks about all the categories and all the products that you cannot sell on. And as of current, at the time of doing this, you cannot sell, like, here's the thing, you can sell some products in that category, but you cannot run advertising, no. Just because they can't control who sees it, right? So they don't want a 13-year-old person seeing that type of product, right? And then there's a lot of sensitive reasons why, but no, you can't. If they allow you to sell the product, you can sell the product. Like some accessories you can sell, a lot of stuff you can't sell, but if they allow you to sell it, you cannot run advertising. Now, you can run advertising outside of Amazon to an Amazon listing, but not internally. How much is the upgrade to Max? Casey, so AMZ Max is the upgrade. So we have the AMZ Formula, which is the program, and then we have the AMZ Formula Max, which is the program plus you get access to the preferred support, as well as the weekly coaching calls with our different coaches. AMZ Max is an investment of $5K. And if you've already been in any of my programs, we prorate, which is something that nobody else does in the industry. We prorate your investment. So if you're in any of my other, and for anybody that's in here, like, again, I don't like selling anything on here, so this is going to be quick. But if you're in any of my programs and you want to upgrade, I'm not going to like punish you or take more of your money. I want to incentivize you, because the closer you are to us and our team, the better we feel with getting you results, right? The more hands-on help and support you'll get. So whatever your investment is in any of the programs, from AMZ Formula, AMZ Max, or Inner Circle, so on and so forth, if you want to upgrade, we prorate your investment. So if you're interested in that, again, we have the link right here. you can schedule a call at #1productawaycall.com and just be like, hey, my name is Josh. I'm in the AMZ Formula. I want to take it to the next level. I want to upgrade to Max. Josh said that he'll prorate my investment. They'll look up your account, say, cool, you bought on this time. This is what you invested. The remaining balance is X, right? Do you need a payment plan? Do you need help with lending, or are you ready to pay in full for a discount, right? And they'll help you out, full transparency. So drop shipping just to start will get you banned. No, I don't want to say that, but Amazon doesn't like it. There's tons of people that drop ship every single day, but Amazon was not designed for it, and Amazon really doesn't want it. That's why they're constantly changing their systems and changing their algorithms to kind of detect it. That's another reason why they have like the inventory systems in place and so on and so forth. But they really don't want drop shipping. When setting up a business bank account, should you pay for a virtual business address or should it be your home address? That's a personal question. So if you live in California, it may be advantageous, and this is my personal opinion. I'm not a tax advisor, a CPA, or a lawyer. This is my personal opinion, and you should not take this as legal advice. However, like if you're in California or New York, it may be advantageous to set up a company in Texas, Florida, or Nevada. Why? Because there's no state taxes. If you live in Africa, or let's just say you live in Abu Dhabi or Dubai or Doha, Qatar, like some of our clients in the Middle East, and you can't sell from those countries or register as a seller from those countries, then you would set up a bank account and you would set up a virtual address in the United States, preferably where the lowest taxes are. Again, my personal opinion. And then you would create the account and sell within the US. It doesn't matter where you live in the country, in the world. We always advise starting in the US because it's the biggest marketplace with the biggest opportunity. And if you guys need help, like if you guys live out the country, even if you're not a client or you guys live in a different state that has high taxes and you want to classify in a different state, we have a very close partner that we work with that helps do all of that. So if you email support at the AMZ Formula and say, hey, I live out the country, I want to start an LLC, I need a virtual address, or hey, I live in California and New York, I want to transfer my company or start my company in Texas or Florida or Nevada, XYZ. Can you help me? Josh said he has a connect. Our team will refer you to a close partner that we work with. They'll hop on a Zoom call with you. They'll see what's best for you. They'll give you options, and then they'll help you set everything up and then link everything to Amazon. All right, cool. Awesome. We'll bang these out. So I am in the micro launch with a sexual product. Do I remove my products from the warehouse? What will you do to save fees? Man, like without going into like too much specifics and like graphics on the call, like, dude, I mean, that could be like furry handcuffs or it could be like a pleasure toy. If it's a pleasure toy, dude, you're done for. If it's furry handcuffs, like that say like, you know, something funny on it, you're good. Like you just got to know how to maneuver. And again, that's why it's super important that you have the knowledge about this business. So I would go like rule of thumb for you in chronological order. Number one, go to Amazon's terms of service. What products can I sell? Does your product fall underneath that? If it says you can't sell it, then you want to remove it and not sell it, right? If you remove it, the quickest way to do so without paying fees is just create a removal order, and then they'll ship it using their UPS account, which will save you money, right? Now, if you can sell the product, but it says that it's advertisement restricted, those products that are advertisement restricted are easier to rank than products that are not advertisement restricted. Like example, it's going to be harder to rank this for coffee cup versus furry adult handcuffs, right? Because no one can run advertising to that possibly, right? So in that order, number one, can you sell it? Number two, if you can sell it, can you advertise it? If you can sell it, but you can't advertise it, start to rank it in terms of having the listing SEO dialed in, the keywords on the back end dialed in. And if you can't sell it on Amazon ads whatsoever, then create a removal order, have it shipped to your location. Can you trademark for more than one product? Yeah, so the way it works, great question, Elliot. The way it works is a trademark is for a brand. So Josh's brand is the company. Josh's brand LLC is the company. That is trademarked. Josh's brand LLC trademarked or the brand Trademark, Josh's brand, has 500 products. All of those 500 products fall within the Trademark underneath brand registry, right? So you don't have to have individual products trademarked. If they're inventions or creations, they would be patented. That's kind of the difference in between those. Awesome, cool. So I see a few like internal questions about clients. If you guys can, just to keep things separate, if you guys can just email the appropriate support, our team would love to help you out. Again, I just don't want to go into multiple different things on that. However, I can tell you, if you guys are our clients, we have your best interests in mind, and they do follow everything that I practice and all of our principles. With that being said, guys, I appreciate your time today. A few things really quick before we go, guys. If you're new to the channel or you've been on the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, number one, subscribe right now. Click the red button right now. Do it right now. Number two, click the notification bell next to it so you're notified every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Every Monday, we release a new video. Every Wednesday, we release a new video in the 7-figure product series. And every Friday, we go live to help you guys increase your income, your impact, and your influence. If you guys are already an Amazon seller or a business owner and you want to pour rocket fuel on your business, or you've been following my stuff and thinking about starting and you have some questions and want to learn about the business and what we offer at AMZ Together, then schedule a no-risk, like no-hassle free call at www.oneproductawaycall.com, www.1productawaycall.com. And also, if you have not got a copy of my best-selling book, I released it in December, One Product Away. I highly suggest that you go get that. It's a good read, almost 200 pages. It's not one of these like fluff-filled PDFs that are like 60 pages, 200 pages, full of straight gems. You can grab your copy at www.1productawaybook.com. I highly suggest that you do that right now, and you definitely check that out. And hey, if you want to get started, if you want to learn more about the business, you don't know if this is for you, book a call. It's free, and grab your copy of the book. It's $27. What do you have to lose? Absolutely nothing, but potentially a brand new business that can generate you 6 or even 7 figures to gain. And if you grab the book and you hate the book, it's on me. I'll refund you 100% of your money. You can keep the book. All right. I appreciate you guys. Remember, you're only one product away, and check out the rest of the videos on the channel. Let me know what videos you want to see next, and help us guys grow the channel. If you guys know anybody that may get any value from the channel, refer it, right? Share a video, refer the channel. Make sure you guys are liking and commenting on the videos. It takes so little effort to do it, but it helps us out significantly. And I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, you're only one product away.